welcome back. Today we'll feature Declaration Grooming, Contemplation, and their new Icarus base. Now, just for the uninitiated, Declaration Grooming used to go by L&L Grooming, and early this year or late last year they rebranded their entire line of stuff under Declaration Grooming. But when this one was released, it was released in, I think, in March, and it saw a modified version of their Bison Tallow base, and it adds goat's milk and lamb tallow. So it's very animal product oriented if that's not your thing. But they released it under a already popular scent from Chatillon Lux called Santal Austere. It was a dry sandalwood. I actually got the aftershave and the scent wasn't for me, but I didn't try the soap because it sold out like pretty much immediately. It was at a premium price, I think $31 a jar, which is way out of my price range personally. But it has its share of fans because many highly tout that soap base as the best performing soap base like that they've tried. And so I really wanted to try it at least one time. And about a month or so ago, this at the Maggard Meet Up, or maybe actually I don't think it was quite a month ago, but some time ago they brought full jars of this stuff, and it's this one here is Contemplation. It's a green scent, but they also released Shore and Lemon, and it was only available or early access versions at Maggard Meet Up. And then I think last week the samples dropped at maggardrazors.com, and I think they have sold out. I managed to grab this one. The one I wanted to try was Shore, and it was sold out. So the Contemplation and Lemon were remaining, so I got Contemplation. And they will be, I think they're releasing at the end of this month, or it may have been delayed, so it might actually be in July when these drop. But I've talked about this a lot already, so we're going to go into the scent in just a minute as I start the shave. It's a thirsty soap base, so I'm going to start with a damp brush here and work my way up with the lather. So just going to get the base layer down. And out of the container, I'd say it's low to mid. It's about 4.5 to 5, and then I think it goes up to about a 6 when you lather it up. And just before we start going into the specifics of the scent, we'll mention that if you tried the previous base, or the previous Icarus base in the Santal Austere release, this base is slightly different. It still has the bison tallow, the lamb tallow, and the goat's milk, but there was a problem, or for some people it was. Not everybody got it, but many people did. Santal Austere is not a strong scent, and so people complained about gaminess. Like there was a gamey scent, like wild animal scent. And before they even released it, they warned people that that smell would be there, and that before they tried using it to air it out for about a day or so. And meaning leave it open, leave the soap jar without the lid on to let that smell dissipate. They used a different source for their, I think, their goat's milk and their lamb tallow this time, so that would it have less of an odor. And I can't really say that I smell the gaminess in this. I mean, some people have already said they still smell it in this offering too, but I do not. So I don't have anything to complain about there. Now the scent, it's rather hard to describe it. I want to say it's a fougere, but it's not a fougere in the sense of the cologne types. Kind of like a Barrister's Reserve Fern or Fern Concerto by Holy Caw. There's more of it's a little bit more natural, but there is a citrus note in here that makes it a little less natural. So it's kind of a balance in between that natural green and then the green that was obviously composed by somebody. And it's not as green as, like overly green, like say Uncle John's or Declaration's TSM Fougere, which is very, very green. It's a lot more natural smelling. This is more like it's kind of sage. I think it's got sage in it. And there's not been, to my knowledge, there's not been an official release of the scent notes. Like they've not really, I don't think they've divulged that, because I researched and I didn't see it. I mean, it may be out there somewhere. I did see someone say fern, sage, and tangerine. Tangerine though, I just don't know. I mean, it may be in there, but tangerine tends to dissipate. Like, it's hard to find tangerine scented products because that oil, the tangerine oils, just from what I've heard, they just disappear after not very long at all. So people tend not to use them. But to my nose, this is very green, very sagey, and the citrus is there to maybe add a little bit of brightness to that green. And that's about as good as I can explain it. All right. My lighting here is bad, but I think you can see this is a pretty good lather on my face. I've got it right where I want it. So before it dries up, let's get going. This is the this is my fatty handle with the Rockwell 6C plate 2 with an Austere green blade. Performance of this soap is outstanding. It improves in every way from the Bison Tallow formula, which is very good. And a plus side, so if you're familiar with the Bison Tallow formula, it's very soft, and if you use a dense brush consistently, you're going to just go through that tub like nothing. It's probably one of the easiest soaps to finish. This soap is much firmer. It's mid-firm, maybe even higher mid-firm. I mean, it's easy. I mean, it's pliable. You're going to be able to get it out with your finger really easily, or with it, whatever, if you use a scooping tool. But it is not like soft like a crope at all. So this soap will last far longer than any of Declaration's regular offerings in their normal base. And not only will it last longer, but it excels in every area. If you've ever watched any of my videos before, I have a chart at the end. Slickness, residual slickness. It loads pretty easily. It's very thirsty though, so you gotta really work with it. I mean, I think it's slightly easier to work with than their normal base, to be honest, because it's just so soft and you can overload very easily. This one, it's slightly, you actually have to load for longer with this soap because it's so thirsty and it's hard, it's a lot more firm. And I expect, and the post shave was amazing, and I expect, since I actually got the lather to where I wanted it sooner, and it looks better than it did the other day when I did my trial run, I think this will even, it will result in a much better post shave feel. I'm gonna go for the second pass. I'll be right back. Cross screen. So, what is the catch with this soap? Well, if you recall earlier, I mentioned that the original release was $31 a jar. Now think about that. Do the math. That is nearly $8 an ounce, which is pretty crazy. But these are, I don't know if Santal Austere used an expensive sandalwood oil and it made it $31, and maybe these will be slightly cheaper. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still at least $30. So take that in mind. I look for $4 an ounce or less. I tend to not buy them over that. There's only been a few times where I've done that. And I'm not a huge fan of doing that. And obviously people like it and they're going to buy it. And it's probably going to sell out. But do I feel like you need to spend your money for an elite soap base, even if you can still get a similar shave with something like Katie's Bubbles, which is also upper tier performance wise? I don't think your shave is going to be like all that much better than those other brands. And so if that price tag is you're feeling comfortable with that price tag, then just don't do it. But if you like spending the money for these high-end items, it's totally fine too. I mean, they're made for you, so they're just not made for me. So I doubt I'll be buying this. I don't know if I like it enough. I mean, it's very good, obviously. There's no arguing that. I'm not criticizing them for not charging a higher amount for an excellent product, but I just don't see the need to buy it. I can get just as good of a shave paying $15, $16 for Katie's Bubbles, or Mike's Natural Soaps even. I mean, those are all upper tier products. And you do you, I'll do me. This is just my opinion on it. You can totally disagree with me. It's what makes the world go around. So I'm gonna rinse my face. We'll be back with my final thoughts, and then we'll end this one. So I finished the shave up 2 passes. I wasn't paying attention right here. I guess I was talking, and this is kind of a trouble area for me. Used a little too much pressure. There was a cut, and it stopped bleeding, but you can see there's some redness here. I already had some bites, like insect bites over here, so that's what that's from. So it's not the soap's fault, it's just user error. But anyway, Contemplation is a great green, sagey scent with a touch of citrus. If that's your thing, go for it. I think he's smart for charging that much because it's going to sell out. Declaration's at the top of their game, but I don't feel the need to pay, you know, 2/3 more than what I normally pay. Or sometimes, maybe even in some cases, twice as much, because, you know, a lot of the products I buy, Mike's, Sterling, Katie's Bubbles, they're between like $13 and $16, and my shaves aren't like much worse than this one. I think the post shave is probably better than those, but I mean, they're comparable. So there's some give and take in the situation too. Like I said earlier, the normal Bison Tallow base is soft, and you can go through it very easily. Well, this one is a lot firmer, and so you're not going to bust this through this one anytime soon. It's going to last you a good while. So there's some give and take there, but kudos to them for making an excellent product. Sells in every metric. There'll be a high score at the end on the chart here at the end of the video. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and comment below if you have anything to say about this, or if I forgot anything in my discussion of this soap. So until next time.